At the end of this presentation, I want you to leave with three very distinct feelings. I want you to leave feeling angry. Angry because these 5 children and millions of other children will never receive the educational opportunity that you and I have had. And this isn't fair. I want you to leave feeling inspired because today hundreds of young fellows like Sharanya are working relentlessly to make sure that each and every child in India gets an excellent education. I want you to leave feeling committed. Committed and determined to do something when you walk out of this classroom. To do something to make sure that education equity is a reality for all our kids in the country. I am Mainak.Roy, a 2012 Teach for India Fellow, currently working with the Fellowship Recruitment team in Teach for India. To understand what we do in Teach for India, you need to understand why we do what we do. And for that, we need to take a look at the current state of education in India. I would like all of you to stand up. Thank you so much. For a moment, think that you are the microcosm of the Indian population, of the Indian children, of the kids in India. All 320 million of them. 320 million children in India. For a moment, think of yourselves as 2, 3, 4 and 5-year-olds who are ready to go to school. Now I would request the first 2 rows on my right to please sit down. Thank you so much. What do you think is the difference between the people who are sitting down and the people who are standing with respect to our Indian education system? Yes, sir. Thank you. They represent the 4% who will never go to school. They will never see a chalkboard. They will never see a book. They will never play or work with a paper, a pen or pencil. Which means we are in that subset of the Indian population who have had the opportunity to go to school. And although 4% may seem a very small number, think of it with respect to 320 million, and then it's a sizable number. Now I would request this half of the room to kindly sit down. Thank you. What do you think is the difference of the people sitting down versus the people standing? Yes. Thank you. The ones who are sitting down represent 42% of the Indian population who will drop out of school before class 5. This does not mean that they will go up to class 5. Some of them will drop out when they are in the 2nd grade. Some of them will drop out when they are in the 3rd grade. Some of them will drop out when they are in the 4th grade. By the time they are in the 5th grade, they would have been out of the education system. Take a moment to think about your time. Think about your time when you were in class 5 and how life would be different if you would have left school at that very moment. I know about my life, the kind of friends I have, the kind of books I read, the kind of music I listen to, and the kind of opportunities that I have right now would not be there if I would have left school when I was in class 5. Now I would request all of you to sit down except the first row over here. Thank you. All of you represent 90% of the Indian population who will never go to college. 90% of the Indian population who will never go to college, which means only 10% of us have that opportunity. And if you are a girl in rural India, only 1% of you all have the opportunity to go to college. 99% will never go to college. And this just isn't fair. This isn't fair that your demographics will decide your destiny. This just isn't fair. Think of India's situation. India currently only maximizes 10% of its human potential. It only uses 10% of its human potential. Imagine the kind of growth we could have if we maximally utilize the other 90%. And this brings us to the vision of Teach for India. I would want all of you to read out the vision with me at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. One day, all children will attain an excellent education. I would like to focus on 2 very important words here, all and excellent. All, because I think all children, all 320 million of them, should have equal opportunity and should have an access to the education system. Currently, 4% do not go to school, do never see the insides of a classroom. That has to change. The next word is excellent. Why do we need an excellent education? My question is, why not? The quality of education has a direct correlation with the level of education and with human earning and also with health and longevity, which means that an excellent education will not only increase India's equity but also increase the average life standard or the average living standards of a human being, of a normal man in India. How are we supposed to go about with our vision of giving an excellent education to every child in India? It is through our mission of building a movement of leaders who will eliminate educational inequity in India. Over here, I would like you to focus on this word leader. Here in Teach for India, we believe that this staggering problem of educational inequity can only be solved by creating a movement of leaders who will take this forward in the years to come, who will in their own sectors create space to make sure that education is looked after. Now let us look at some of the leaders who have joined the fellowship in the last few years. Here we can see Arushi from Lady Shri Ram College and Raji from IIT Bombay, who have joined the fellowship this year. Avantika, after finishing her law degree from the National Law School in Bangalore, she is now teaching a grade 3 classroom in New Delhi. And this is Akshay, who after graduating from Columbia University decided to join the fellowship and is currently teaching in Mumbai. We have engineers from diverse backgrounds. This is Robin, who worked with VMware, and Ruchita, who worked with Accenture before they joined Teach for India. We have a lot of people from globally recognized organizations like Bhavpriya from Google and Ishpreet from Infosys. Take a moment to look at this slide. These are the various colleges and corporates that our fellows come from. These are some of the undergraduate colleges our fellows come from. These are some of the postgraduate colleges our fellows come from. These are some of the international universities our fellows have come from in the past few years. The cohort always has a sizable number of working professionals from diverse backgrounds like IT, banking, infrastructure, marketing, and manufacturing. All in all, we have 300 fellows from 382 colleges and 219 corporates. And it is this diversity that propels us towards the work we do. Every year, Teach for India gets around a few thousands of applications for its fellowship program. Last year, we received around 11,300 applications for the fellowship program. And we rolled out offers to 800 of them. Keeping in track with our mission of creating a movement of leaders, we have made this fellowship program very selective and a highly aspirational one. Which means that most of our fellows come through a very tough round of scrutiny. But if you meet the bar that we have set, then we would definitely take you. Because the more the number of fellows, the more classrooms and the more children